Hello, hi, assalamu alaikum. I am Abeeha and I am taking over Refined Thoughts for the topic of toxicity in workplace. So I came up with an idea of gathering some of my very close friends and asking them about toxicity in workplace, basically their experience with working with their current or past jobs. So, what you're gonna see are real life people with real job experiences, real stories, and real advice. I would also like to put out a disclaimer and say none of the participants or myself we're not hating on any sort of job. These are real life interviews, well, videos, as I'm stuck in Bahrain for the moment. These are real life experiences from people that I know personally. So we're not hating on any sort of job. A job is a job, a grind's a grind. So I hope you enjoy. I'll see you in a bit.
Hi, I'm Asmara. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently studying psychology at IUMW.
Hi, my name is Zoya Shafiq. I am 27 years old and I have done electrical engineering.
Hi, my name is Fahira and I'm 23 years old. I'm an engineering and psychology major.
Hi everyone, my name is Hamad Sharif and I am a 19-year-old university student.
I'm Aubrey, I'm 20 years old, and I'm a senior in college.
So my name is Walid Abdulrazak Ibrahim. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently taking my bachelor's degree in business administration, honoring international business.
Thank you very much. Now, would you guys please also let us know where are you working? What do you work as? What do you do?
So before I entered university, I decided to work part-time as a cashier in a grocery store.
I am working part-time as a fashion advisor at a retail company in Kuala Lumpur.
I used to work at Denso, a car manufacturing company, Japan company, and I have like roughly around 6 months of experience working there as an intern. And my family owns our own business, a manufacturing garment business. So yeah, I've been working here and there, and yeah.
Technically, my job title is part-time extra help, I think. Really, I just do manual labor all the time, and I plant plants.
I currently do not work. I'm a full-time student, but I did work in the past. Uh, where do you work? Well, I worked with my father as a wholesaler, and I sell stuff in my father's shop, and that was in the past. But the most recent job I had was a waiter in a small food stall in Kuching, Sarawak, where studied my foundation there. Uh, how long have you been working? Well, I'm not working currently, but I've worked for 2 months in that food stall.
Impressive. Okay, personally, I would like to add that I was also working. I worked two different jobs in my gap year. Both of them were in a preschool slash nursery. So I used to work as a teacher's assistant in my first job, and then my second job was a PA, personal assistant to the principal, and I was also a receptionist. Okay, so guys, I want you to share an experience, a very toxic experience from your current or past workplace. Or like a red flag, you know? You know what they say about red flags, we don't like them.
I am fortunate enough to be working at a place where all my coworkers and we get along really, really well with each other. But recently some of my coworkers had a misunderstanding with one of my other coworker, and that was a whole situation. But it was resolved, and basically the argument or the misunderstanding was because of, I guess, lack of communication, biased thoughts, assumptions, and attitude problems. Yeah, but it's resolved.
So the biggest hurdle or a red flag that I would say I had to face was in my last job, where a coworker used to gossip and hiring, exhausting to work in a same place in a same team with that coworker, and that made it hard for me to focus.
What should have raised my alarm bells immediately when I was in my workplace was the actual interview that I had before getting the job. The boss himself stated that he's been through 3 different cashiers in the past 2 months, which I found somewhat astounding. And later, I kind of realized the reason why these cashiers might have left or got fired, which either one, is that the boss and even the manager, they used to basically pick fights out of nothing. At the time, I was obviously going to enter university, so I was very busy with paperwork. So sometimes I would come to my job maybe a minute or 2 minutes late, and the boss kind of used to make a big fuss out of it. Another thing, there was a lot of micromanagement, things that are very unnecessary, in my opinion, that they focused on, and nothing was going to happen if they weren't focused on at all.
The biggest red flag, such a controversial question, but sure, I would say what is the most controversial thing at workplace is people gossiped. Like, people gossip a lot about personal stuff, like people judge, and I don't think that is healthy in workplace. It's not healthy in real life as it is, but it is more toxic if we're like working together and people be talking about me and stuff at workplace. It's not professional, and it's not related to work. So I would say that is the biggest red flag. I'm not saying that I gossip at work, because I'm just an intern, and and with my family, I'm the boss's daughter, so yeah, there's no gossip there. I don't know any gossip.
The biggest problem at my job in particular is people like just trying to get people to get along, and other people try to overstep certain boundaries, and they just get too comfortable with the job and they do things that they know they're not supposed to do.
The biggest red flag for me is not to say racism per se, but because of my skin color, I get a lot of people staring at me or like just eyeing me for no apparent reason. But I've come to terms with that maybe most people are not familiar with my skin color, or maybe they're just captivated or yeah. But that kind of throws me from time to time when people just stare at me. So I think that can be counted as a red flag for me personally. And as for like arguments or gossips with coworkers or biased behavior, I did not experience any of that because I never had coworkers. Because in that stall, it was only my boss, the man who owned the stall, and me.
Well, wow. I do too have a couple of experiences where I faced a lot of problems in my job place, but this video is not about me. You probably saw me complaining on the IG live the other day. So, right, guys, my next question is, what is one key piece of advice you would like to give to a person who's dealing with a toxic workplace? Like, one very valuable advice that you follow, would you like to share?
So, how I cope with toxicity and negativity at work. I'm the type of person I don't like to be inserted into these situations, so I'm always neutral in these settings. But one piece of advice that I like to give is to try to understand why someone is being how they are, and be open to criticism, especially if you work in a team. Communication is key, as they say. It's true. I feel like it's the best way to resolve any arguments. And to just be open to listen and understand.
So, the way that you deal with situations like this, especially if a manager is causing you problems, is you would actually go complain to a higher authority. But that wasn't possible in my case, simply because the whole business was completely family owned. The way I used to deal with it, if a manager or the boss is causing me any trouble, I'd just kind of keep my mouth shut and just do whatever he asks and do it to the best of my ability so he doesn't find any faults. Another thing, obviously, talking with my co-workers kind of kept the motivation going, especially they were all amazing people. And I just always used to make myself busy or pretend to be busy in a sense. Whether it was tending to a customer or actually just scanning barcodes or just checking the expiry dates on certain food stock, whatever it may be, I'll just make myself busy so that we don't start any sort of conversation with the manager himself.
As far as like toxicity in the workplace goes, I usually just try to avoid it. Like most of the time I work by myself, but sometimes it's unavoidable, and in situations like that I really just try to de-escalate it, or like diffuse the tension as much as I can, because we have things to do and we have to get them done, no matter like if whether or not you and somebody else don't get along. There's still things that need to be done that day, so I just try to get the things done and deal with the drama later.
One piece of advice that I would like to give is that ignore the little things until they start hurting your reputation or affecting your work. The minute they start affecting your work, you have to confide into your line manager or your immediate boss, and I'm sure they will figure out a way to deal with it. Just write a written complaint against that person, and make a statement, and it will be dealt with.
So next question is, how do you cope with toxicity slash negativity at work? So how do I cope with negativity at work? You know, I would say I'm kind of a chill person. I like to do my own thing, you know, mind my own business, and I like to do my work like really in detail. Like I'm a woman, I'm a woman of I would say a woman of focus, determination. So I am very straight on, I am like always straight on, very determined in getting my work done. So if there's any gossip lying around, and if like someone asks me to gossip, which I don't want, but I don't want to offend them. So a piece of advice I would like to give to all of you is that you know, when they tell gossips, you just laugh. You just like that, like not like ha 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 laugh, but like like that, you know, so that you wouldn't offend the gossipers and you're not in the gossip. Like you show you have no interest in the gossip whatsoever. So I would just yeah, like that and that. Just act like I think like the piece of I feel like the piece of, okay, let me put it together into words, into like a sentence that makes sense. The advice is what? The advice is don't the advice is act like you don't care. Just go like like that. I always do that every single time. I'm like like that. So you wouldn't offend the person gossiping, and yeah, you're not creating any gossip. You know, usually I'll just do that, and the gossip ends. I mean, the gossipers knows that I'm not interested whatsoever, so they'll stop. So yeah, it's a win-win situation.
How do you cope with toxicity and negativity at work? Well, I've never been put in a situation where I've experienced toxicity in a place of work. Uh, but if I was put in that situation, I think for me personally, I would cope by try to distance myself from people who I think might be toxic, as in for me, or try to extract myself from situations where toxicity might be used. So I would try my best to not blend in that well. I mean, yeah, blend in with people who I might think will end up uh, being toxic or negative in the workplace.
Okay, I wish I met some of you guys earlier and listened to that advice, but hey, that's life. Right, my last question, right, is that do you like your current workplace or did you like your last workplace? Yes or no, or explain if you wish. Stage is yours.
Yes.
Okay, so we're on to our last question. Do you like your current workplace? I'm currently not working, but I'm really looking forward to work. Yeah, and I'm really excited.
No, I do not like my current workplace.
I do like my current working place because it is very safe for women. It is a very friendly environment to work at, and the benefits are good. They listen to you, they resolve your problems if something is bugging you, and I'm pretty happy where I am at.
Do you like your current workplace? I do not work right now, but I did like my last workplace. For right now, I am a full-time student, and in that case, if you consider that a job, then no, I do not like my job because I do not like being a full-time student. But my last job, I did like it. Thank you. That's my time.
So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Stay away from toxicity. And if you're the toxic person, sit down, evaluate yourself, and peace.